Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Konich-Yeehaw podcast. I'm Talia.
And I'm Jared.
And we're a little late.
We are a little late on this, but it's okay.
That's our bad. But we, once again, want to review the ships from the last year for Valentine's Day.
So, one thing that we're doing a little different than we are last time is that we did ships and dips last time.
Yeah.
But this time we kind of only did ones that we like.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few on here that are like meh, more like no real strong feelings, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I think there's really only like one dip in this. And we're going to get over it like pretty fast. But yeah,
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. Let's just jump right into it. For the most part, we tried to do these in somewhat of an order of when they were released. So the ones that were furthest away from us to closer to like what's airing now. So we're gonna start off with Shima and Mitsumi from Skip and Loafer.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Mwah. Very good stuff.
Delicious.
Very good stuff. So sweet, so cute. I've already said in our nomination episode that Skip and Loafer probably my favorite slice of life to like come out of the last, at least the year, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
no, it was great.
We love them. We love them.
Yes, it's such a good like. The thing that works so well is that it is like the, it's the weird girl, and the golden retriever,
and the golden retriever,
and
boy.
they even say that essentially.
Yes, that he is just like a puppy.
Yeah.
Yes, very good stuff though. We love them. Okay, next, I think our only dip, Maru and Kuruko from Heavenly Delusion.
Bad.
This gets a big bad from us.
X.
Very bad. I mean, once you introduce the whole weird I'm in my sister's body thing, I mean, it's one of those things where I feel bad for Maru. I really do.
Yeah.
Because he fell for Kuruko just as a person, and then Kuruko had to drop that bomb that, hey, I'm not attracted to you because I'm a guy, but then he's also still kind of attracted to that other guy.
Yeah.
But now he's in a woman's body, and it was just kind of all really unfortunate. Big feels bad for Maru, and it's just kind of a weird situation.
It's a very weird situation, and a weird situation that they don't handle well in the show.
No, not really. It's a weird situation.
Yeah.
Moving on, though. Gabimaru and Yui, his wife.
His wife.
In Hell's Paradise.
Not who you would think we would talk about the ship for this show.
Yes. No. He is a married man, and he loves his wife very much.
He's a wife guy.
He's a wife guy. You can't help but root for them. You know, you want him to get back to his wife. And he really wants to get back to his wife and survive the island and everything. So, pretty good stuff right there. Next, we have Ganta and Marguerite from Insomniacs After Schools.
Ooh, yes. This was very good.
Also very good.
I love just some sleepy guys.
You love the nerdy boy and the quirky girl. I mean, it's a popular dynamic.
It's very popular.
I mean, even outside of anime.
Yeah.
Like, everybody loves a weird, nerdy guy, awkward guy, and then just a quirky, teehee girl, right? What? Oh, are you? Hey now.
Things are starting to connect here.
Oh my goodness. But it is a very popular dynamic, and it is very cute in the show. Okay, next we have Hori and Miyamura from Horimiya.
Yep.
I mean, Also very cute.
Yeah,
Very
very
good.
good. It's like we could have put basically every single pair in this show.
There are so many
And
pairs, and they honestly kind of get away from me.
yeah, there are so many characters and so many pairs that it's just like, who are you again? Especially when watching this show, because it was just like
Just the missing pieces,
the missing
right?
pieces of the original show. So like it was like a pair would come up, and I'm like, okay, are you like siblings?
Are you guys together? But
Yeah.
then they would talk about one of them liking somebody else, and like
Yeah.
there's some triangles happening.
So many a ship, both canon and not in that show.
Yes.
Of all varieties.
Right.
But
Okay.
the original
Yes.
Hori
Mia.
and Mia,
Good.
good stuff.
Good stuff. Good
It's
stuff.
I mean, edgy guy with uptight girl.
Yes.
Like it's the classic.
More classics. Yes.
Yeah.
We love a good dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then next up we got Aya and Suguru from Undead Girl Murder Farce. Also, so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
They might as well have been married for the
Yes.
last 20 years, even though they just met.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they were made for each other.
Yeah, they really are like an old married couple.
Yes.
It's really funny to see like this dynamic, especially since she's just ahead.
Yes, she's just ahead. But they're both also so witty and smart and funny.
It's like
just-
it's characters that are really made for each other.
Yes, they are.
Because they work off each other so well. This is a great example of like characters working off each other. There are a lot of shows, especially like romance shows, where the two characters are supposed to be like going for each other, but like in actuality, whenever you really look at it, it's like they don't always mash.
Right.
And that's
yeah.
kind of something that you get with shows that have like he's a nerdy guy and she's the popular girl. Like the dynamic doesn't exactly work, which
Right.
I think we might have one
We're
of those.
gonna
We have one of those
gonna lead
later.
right it. Well, no, we're gonna lead right into it. Actually,
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes, we are. So, also, Anya and Suguru. I guess we maybe should have like kind of been mentioning this, but there's like this is like ship or dip, right? But some of these are canon, not all of them.
Yeah.
So Anya and Suguru are technically not canon,
Yeah.
but they do make out.
Yeah.
And like they care for each other, but it's I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's not like
Yeah.
it's not it's hard to explain, I guess.
It's not canon, but it might as well be.
Yes.
Argo, stop eating leaves.
Our dog is rearranging the household dirt right now. Anyway. But then yes, leading into Shirakawa and Ryutu from our dating story. The inexperienced and
Oh
experienced.
yes. I completely forgot.
So yes, this is exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
With we are supposed to be as an audience rooting for Shirakawa and Ryutu, but they kind of don't go together.
They really don't.
Yes, they kind of don't, and that becomes like the main source of conflict towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Because then they kind of have like this little breakup moment because Shirakawa, the popular girl, right, sees him interacting with another girl and they seem to be hitting it off more just
Yeah.
because they have more in common. And Shirakawa's like, maybe this isn't actually meant to be.
Yeah, but then they pull some BS.
But then they do some BS and they're back together.
Because they're like, oh, this is actually the main girl. And, you know, like, it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because, okay, I just remember the plot of this show.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, I just remember the plot that literally, like, her twin sister is like...
Not the twin.
Okay, the thing, it was fraternal twins, though.
Not the twin, though.
And so, or was it fraternal?
Yeah. They're fraternal. They're fraternal.
So it was like the fraternal twin had turned down the main boy whenever they were in middle school.
Yes.
And then they reunited, and they're like actually really good, compatible.
They're actually really compatible.
The problem with the problem was that she was insane.
She's
and wanted to be like the girl, the main girl who he was dating.
Yes.
Even though, yeah,
it's weird. So not really shipping them.
Yeah, honestly, it's not a really good combination.
It wasn't a really good show.
Yeah, it wasn't a really good show. Yeah, that's true.
But, moving on from that, we got Rentaro and all of his girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them.
Let's see.
Oh yes, I meant to bring up a list of them.
Yes, bring up a list of them because as a group, as a whole, like as the polycule,
yes,
it is good.
It is very good.
It is very good.
They're a good
as
unit.
A compatible polycule.
Yes.
But we need to talk about each one of them separately because
yes.
I actually have different emotions about each one of them.
Yes, and I actually wanted to talk about that too. Great. So let's start with, we can kind of, I guess, put them together, the first two, since they kind of happen together.
Yeah.
Hikari and Karane.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them, good.
Yeah,
both of them love each other.
Yeah. It's another instance of a good polycule.
Yes.
That works.
Yes.
I do think that the Hikari
mm-hmm.
might actually work better than Karane. I mean, I ship both of them, but like when it comes to actually who's a more powerful ship,
I think
Karane is.
She's just so romantic.
Karane, the tsundere.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The
tsundere,
this show plays in extremes. Right?
Yes, it plays in extremes.
And so
she's very tsundere.
She's very tsundere, and it like is to a fault.
Yes, she'll like body slam, like him and like punch him and yeah,
like, and so like extremes. I love a good tsundere, but like
this is like
it's satirical. It's satirical.
It's a satirical tsundere though.
Yeah, and so like when it's compared to the rest of the girls, she doesn't actually mesh as well as the other ones do because she's like always saying the opposite of what she means. Yeah. And the main character's kind of dumb.
Yeah, he's pretty dumb. I mean, everybody loves him, but
yeah.
Yes, but Hikari is definitely also a more powerful ship with him, just because like she is like the romantic one.
Yeah,
that's like kind of her trope. It's just that she's very like ooey gooey, lovey dovey, whatever.
She's usually what you would see as the childhood best friend, sweet type.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Next we have Shizuka. Is that how you say her name?
Shizuka?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, next we have Shizuka, which is the little librarian.
Yes, it's very cute.
Yes.
Like, that ship is very cute.
It's very cute.
It's a ship that could also work as friends.
I like him. I
mean, it's really cute. It's a really cute ship. Yes. Like, it really is. I mean, yeah. It's a really cute ship. I ship it, just not as much as some. Like, if we're ranking it right now, it's like when it comes to like most compatible, like you get the most kind of out of it. It goes Hikari, Shizuka, Karane.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Okay, next we have AI.
Stupid ass name.
Yes, we have AI.
Stupid ass name.
It helps me remember it though.
Yeah, it does.
She is interesting. I actually thought I wasn't gonna like her at first.
Me too.
But she is. I mean, they're all obviously like changing each other, quote unquote, changing each other, and I think that they are helping AI be a little less robotic.
Yeah.
And more expressive.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's a good.
She is kind of like the adult of the group.
Yes, I agree. Besides the actual
adult that we just added.
Yeah.
But she's kind of like the.
She's the mature one.
She's the mature one. Yeah. So that's like also nice to like. She kind of like keeps everybody in.
Yeah, so the thing
team leader kind
the
of
thing
vibes,
that I
you know?
really like about AI and why she works so well is because she's not like emotionless. She's straightforward.
Yes.
And so she's like logical.
She's rational.
She's logical. And so like it's a slight twist to the emotionless robot character.
Yes.
Like, and it works pretty well.
All right.
Now this
Kusuri. Kusuri is bad.
Yeah.
Kusuri, I guess she can join the family, but I don't see what Rintoul sees in her.
So AI and Kusuri are such background characters in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Like
AI, I mean, sorry, not AI. Kusuri is really there to just, like, stir shit up.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of her role.
Yeah, basically all the other characters have harmony. And then she's like, well, someone has to move the plot forward.
Yeah. So, or introduce a plot hole or something, right? But there are a lot of weird things about Kusuri that are just kind of off-putting.
Yeah.
To us. But she's there.
Okay, also it's not super, like, her like, quirk of being both a lolly and a big titty mommy character,
It's confusing a little bit.
It is confusing in that, like, the potions, or the... What does she call them?
Drugs.
The drugs,
She calls them drugs.
The drugs don't make sense. Because,
no, they don't.
Like, when going back and forth.
No.
And,
that's what I mean by, like, she introduces the plot holes.
Yeah.
Like, she's the character that is like, I have this drug that'll make you see the UV lasers. Like,
yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
All right. And lastly, the last introduction to the family, Haruhi. Haruhi. That's what I'm saying. Haruhi.
Yeah.
Well,
the
first
literal
of all,
mother.
A literal mother. So there's that.
I thought it was funny at
it's
first.
really funny. It made for a really good slapstick moment in the show. And I think that, I mean, 100 girlfriends is a lot of girlfriends.
It is.
One of them was bound to be
an adult. Yeah.
Like, one of them was bound to be an adult. And, you know, this is one of those things where he also has to meet all of these girls naturally.
Yeah.
So it's just really funny that it had to be one of their mothers. You know?
Yeah.
So.
It's... Now, is it a good ship? No.
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 It's really... It's not.
I wish it wasn't one of their moms.
Yeah. And, I mean, So... And I want to talk about this in kind of like a... I'm gonna get a little grand scheme-ish, okay? So, obviously, like, this is a fantasy.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, a lot of romance in anime, and just romance in general, is a fantasy. Like, it's not real.
Yeah.
It's not real. Like, this guy, you know, who has 7 girlfriends, like, whether that is morally, you know, you're okay with it or not, it doesn't matter because it's not real.
Yeah.
So, I want to say that, in saying that, do I recognize that Haruhi is, like, a predator? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do. Because she definitely, like, pushes him.
Yeah.
Like, kind of the most.
Yeah.
Right away. Because she is an adult. I mean, you know. But also, this is a fantasy. So, do with that what you will. I think that it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's not, like, that big of a deal. But that's all I'm going to say about that. So, who is your favorite girlfriend? Not as a compatibility with Rintaro, but like your favorite girlfriend.
My favorite
of who we know.
My currently. Favorite girlfriend. I think Shizuka makes me laugh the most.
Actually, I think Shizuka's my favorite girlfriend.
Yeah.
Shizuka's my favorite girlfriend.
Yeah.
I would cosplay Shizuka.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's all. Okay. Moving on, though. I know we spent a while on that one. I mean, there's so many girlfriends. Claire and Ray, and I'm in love with the villainess. Also, very good.
Very good. Yes.
Very good.
Very unique situation.
Unique situation. Isekai, which we don't usually watch. But it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. And
it was pretty gay.
It's pretty gay. Very straightforward, just like,
yeah.
I love you stuff, right? And I hope that they make more, because I want to see, like... I want to see it... Because they kind of only just became canon, like, at the very end.
Yeah.
So, like, let's explore that.
Yeah, my friend has read all the light novels and everything, and they say it gets pretty crazy.
Yeah,
so,
I want to see it. I want to see it animated.
Like, they get into, like, adulthood and things like that, so...
Yeah, that's wild. Is
yeah,
it like
what
what if it's like a Narnia situation? She wakes up. She's a child again. Okay. But I do love them a lot. Mm-hmm. It's an unexpected favorite of ours.
Yeah.
Okay. Keitaro and Echo in Dark Gathering. Now.
Oh, yeah. I had to remember who those were.
Yes. So, my thoughts on Keitaro and Echo is that, I mean, there's like not a lot of room for romance in Dark Gathering.
No.
And they do, even though they are dating in the show.
Yeah.
Not like in the beginning, but like halfway through the show they start dating. It's not a very big deal.
It's not. It's like, not the point.
It's not. It's like not explored. They just kind of mention like really offhand, like my boyfriend, haha.
Yeah, my
girlfriend, haha. But like, it's kind of no point to it.
Yeah, but Echo is like obsessed with him.
Well,
like,
yeah. Well, Echo's the yandere.
Yeah.
She's like the yandere type, so she has like stalker footage and likes to see him scared. Like there's
yeah.
She's crazy. She is crazy. But also, like I said, it's just like obviously it's not reciprocated to the same degree.
Yeah.
But they really are just kind of like childhood best friends, and that's kind of how I see them.
Yeah, same.
I don't really
it's kind of
them.
unnecessary for them to be actually dating.
It is. It's kind of, I guess it was supposed to be like, oh, like she's getting her way, you know, like.
Yeah.
But
he also wanted it.
So yeah, well, because he does. I mean, he likes her as the the childhood best friend type, right? Like, yeah, she's pretty and she's good with people, and
they have trauma bonding.
And I accidentally cursed her.
Yeah, I know, that's never explained.
Yeah, what were they doing? Who knows? All right, moving on though. Umika and Yui in Stardust Telepath, very cute.
It is cute.
Very solid.
Another not canon, but might as well be.
Not canon.
It literally has Yuri in the tags. For the show.
Because they forehead bump.
Yeah.
And
they're basically kissing.
I mean, they're basically kissing. But they're very sweet together. It's just very, very sweet, very sugary, Okay, Ron and Toto.
This is toxic yaoi.
This is toxic. Toxic yaoi, but is it okay? Maybe.
It's toxic yaoi in the same way that Sherlock and Watson are.
Yes, because they are just Sherlock and Watson.
Yeah.
That is their dynamic. And remember what I said about it being fantasy. It's okay to enjoy toxic yaoi because it's not real. So.
And it's not like actually toxic.
It's more like toxic.
It's more like he messes with Toto. Like, he's just fucking with him.
Yeah, he's just messing with him. But they do like. They have like their little like moments, like whenever he was like inviting him to the Stargazer thing. He's like, hey, do you want to take it for two?
I know.
Want to come with me?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on, His only friend, I guess. But yeah, that was just like kind of a silly one. Okay, now we're getting into what we're watching now, which is a lot of romance.
A lot of actual like canon.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of like
canon. or almost canon.
Yeah.
Okay, so Yuki and Itsumi, or Utsumi, yeah, I said it right, Itsumi.
People have their problems.
Itsumi, I'm so sorry, I'm losing my mind. There's an O in there. Itsomi? Sorry. Okay. Sorry, Yuki and Itsomi. First of all, is canon now.
It is now canon, yes. As of episode 6 or whatever.
Yeah, as of
we're on.
where we're at right now, it is canon now. They just
Sorry if you're watching the show.
they just became a couple at the end of the current episode. But I have been seeing some things on the Twitter, and I told you about them, about how some people are like, oh, but Itsumi has red flags.
And they're not entirely wrong.
They're not wrong. But this is a fantasy. You know. Like, I think of this as like... I mean... How do I say this? Other than to just stress that it's a fantasy. Like, it's a fantasy to, like, get swept off your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? To be, like, so moved by someone that you don't really think about, like, social rules or certain things, I guess. Sure, like, he is very, like, touchy-feely in her face, and she recognizes that. It's not like it's ignored.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my gosh, like, the eye contact is crazy, or, like, you know, patting the head, like, that's, like, really affectionate. But she likes it. Like, and she says that she likes it.
I think that's a real point to see, is that these are two consenting adults.
They are two consenting adults.
That are, like, actively consenting to it.
Yes. There was only one point where she had to, like, tell him to back off a little bit, and it was whenever he went to tickle her stomach, and she said, don't do that. She's like, that one was weird. And he said, okay. And, you know, that's that.
Yeah.
But I think, like, when I watch them, I get lost in the fantasy of it. Like, personally. As someone who has read a lot of fan fiction, who has read a lot of romance.
Yeah.
This reminds me of something that I would read. Like, truly. Something that, you know, it's like, if you're not into it, then you don't read it. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's like I said, like, that's kind of one of the reasons why it reminds me of fan fiction, because obviously there's a lot of romantic fan fiction that I don't like. But that doesn't mean it's, like, not good. It just means that I'm not into it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You guys complaining that Isumi has red flags would not have survived the early 2000s shoujo era of anime. All I'm saying. I think it's very sweet. Also, fun fact, I meant to mention this to you. If you are watching it, you'll see what I'm doing. But I noticed that Yuki's name sign, because Itsumi uses it, is this. It's so it's the letter for F, first of all, if you have to remind that, and it's just, like, falling down. But that's the sign for snow.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Yuki's name means
it is.
snow. It means snow, right? Yeah. So it just means snow. Fun fact. Okay. Moving on. Okay, Kurosawa and Adachi. Cherry Magic.
Talk about red flag.
No!
Okay.
What red flag?
Okay.
What red flag?
So the red flag that... Okay, it's... Okay.
What red flag?
So it goes back and forth. Because Adachi is like... Okay, red flag is the wrong word for it.
Okay.
It is a very interesting show in that it, like Claire and Ray talks about, like, when you're gay, you don't know, and you have a crush on someone, you're not, like, expecting any reciprocation, but you don't want to, like, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're just going to get rid of your feelings,
right? Yeah.
And so, like, how are you supposed to act with this person,
right?
And Adachi has that a lot, especially whenever what's his other name?
Kurosawa?
Oh wait.
I think you're getting it mixed
I'm
up.
getting them mixed up. I'm getting
Kurosawa is the one that has those
the
feelings.
yes, Kurosawa is the adult, the older one. He you know, he has these feelings that Adachi can hear.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he does like tease a little some, and
Mm-hmm.
the more that Adachi kind of hints at reciprocation, the more Kurosawa like
He's
increases.
he's kind of trying to like. I mean, it is still more of like testing the waters.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, obviously the first time of just being like, "Hey, do you want to go out to dinner?"
Yeah, but I'm
like,
thinking of the scene wherever they're at their desk. And
that's lean in touching.
Kurosawa leans in and literally puts his hand
on top,
over
yes.
Adachi's to click
on the mouse. It's
mouse.
So unnecessary. But he has to give him that behind hug, right? To see how close he can get.
And he even calls himself out on it, like in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
like,
even
this is
like,
dumb.
yeah. Well, he's like, this is too much. Like,
yeah. Yeah. But I mean, once again, Adachi is also a consenting adult who is I mean, warming up to the idea of being gay.
Yeah, I mean, if it weren't for him getting interrupted, I mean, he was about to confess.
Yes, I do agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Kurosawa would have pushed him. Like, because Adachi said what he said about, like, I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
And Kurosawa probably would have pushed him and been like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, you need to be, like, really blunt with me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so we can figure this out.
No, I mean, it was when he was sick. Whenever he was sick. And if I remember correctly, it was whenever they were... it was him and Kurosawa were talking. Mm-hmm. And then... I'm pretty sure Adachi was about to say, like, I think I'm gay. And then Kurosawa's sister, I think, interrupted, yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. They keep getting almost there, and then they don't. And that's what's keeping us on the edge of our seats, though. So it's good entertainment. Good yaoi. All right.
It's. I feel like we don't really get a lot of yaoi anymore.
Yeah, and good. I mean, like, good yaoi. Yeah. Like, not, like, trashy.
I mean, even still, I look at, like, every single show that comes out. Like, I don't feel like I see a lot of yaoi.
I don't know. I think that yaoi is still more of a popular manga format. So,
yeah.
You know, it's all just... I think it's animated.
Yeah.
So, next we have... Kyuki and Tsubasa from Hokkaido Gals.
Oh, yes.
So, I think they're cute.
They're cute. They're interesting characters.
Yes.
Because, like, Tsubasa's the boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tsubasa is a nerd. Or he's a loser. He's a loser. But, like, they don't know that.
No.
What's her name again?
Kyuki?
Kyuki sees him as this, like, Tokyo Chad.
Yes.
And, like, I mean, she teases him about
city
like,
boy,
the little stuff.
Boy. Yeah.
But, like, I mean...
Oh, it's Fuyuki. I'm so
Fuyuki?
sorry. Yeah, I wrote the wrong thing in my notebook. Whatever. It's Fuyuki.
Yeah, Fuyuki teases him. Mm-hmm. And that's cute and all. I love a show where they tease each other.
Yeah.
But it does fall into the same category as the last Gyaru show.
Like, are they actually compatible?
Are they actually compatible, or is it the plot?
Or is it the dynamic and the plot?
Yeah.
Because then we introduce the next girl. Because this is Hokkaido Gals.
Yeah.
So there's several.
Multiple Gyarus.
Yes, although we haven't met the other ones yet. Our next one is Sayuri. Sayuri and Tsubasa seem to be a little bit more compatible.
Yeah, they're both... Well, he's not a gamer. She's teaching him to be a gamer.
No, I mean, but Sayuri is a loner.
Yeah.
You know, she's
also kind of a loser.
She's kind of a loser.
Yeah, she's just really pretty.
She's really pretty and has she has, like, the Gyaru features. but keeps to herself, just plays on the Nintendo Switch. Just plays Smash Bros. On the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
That's all she does.
Yeah, and like, I sometimes with these romance shows, I wonder, like, how would this show be different if they were just friends?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a show that I don't think would change very much if they were just friends.
No, because right now they are just friends.
Yeah.
And nothing has... I mean,
there's been some things here and there.
Like Teehee, I think I have a crush on him. Or Teehee, I have a crush on him. Moments, especially since we just had the Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, when they went skiing, they were just friends. And
yeah.
I mean, for the most part, they've been like just friends.
Yeah, yeah.
They've just been hanging out.
Don't get me wrong, though. I love romance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Next up, we got Andy and Fuko, an Undead Unluck.
Mm-hmm. Good romance.
That's a good romance. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see where more of the romance goes because we kind of
plateaued.
We kind of plateaued with the romance. They are still affectionate towards each other. That hasn't changed, but it's just kind of plateaued. Fuko still goes to Andy for comfort.
Yeah.
And Andy is still very much like Fuko is his top priority in every situation that he's in. So like that's romantic, right?
Yeah.
But we've kind of just stayed there, especially since the plot is getting so wild.
Yeah.
It's like they don't even have a chance to really explore the romantic part of it yet or anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say also they kind of got as far as they can when it comes to romantic actions for like plot purposes, because like mouth kissing is kind of as far as you can go in a battle.
Well, yeah, in a battle, yes. So I looked up. I accidentally got a baby spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
From the manga, because the manga's still being written, right?
Yeah.
And because I looked up pictures for this thumbnail, and other things came up. So I know that the romance advances. That's all I can say, is that I know the romance advances. I just want to get there.
Yeah.
I want the romance part to come back, but we're like too busy
killing God.
We're too busy killing God and saving the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, I know these aren't written down, but I wanted to go ahead and two more to just kind of throw out there. Okay, Frieren and Himmel.
Oh yeah, how could we forget?
Frieren and Himmel from
Frieren.
From Frieren. Thoughts?
I actually love it. It is so tragic.
It's so tragic. The whole show is essentially a tragedy, but in a more of a comedic sense, I guess.
Yeah.
But
there's comedy in there, but it is overall a very sad story.
It's overall a tragedy. But thoughts on Frieren and Himmel?
I think that it's great.
I think
it's fantastic.
I think I love that they revealed that was part of their relationship. Although I mean, we still have to. We're behind, so we gotta do a little bit more catching up as to uncover, the bits of Frieren's memory that we have been uncovering as the episodes go on. But it's so tragic on many levels.
Yeah.
One, obviously, that he's gone. He's dead, because Frieren is an elf who lives a very long time. But the other one is that I'm sure it wasn't reciprocated. At least,
I wonder.
Yeah.
Like,
at least not right away.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of those feelings that she had at the funeral were, I mean, the meme, like, when you realize 12 decades too late that he was flirting with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So it's a tragedy, but they were good while they were together. Okay. And then I just want your opinion.
Okay.
Fern and Stark. Let's talk about Fern and Stark.
I can see it.
You can see it. Okay.
I can see it. You said something when we were watching an episode that I assume is your feeling on it, in that they're more like siblings.
They are much more like siblings, in my opinion.
Which I can kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to push the teen romance.
They're going to kind of... They're slowly introducing it.
Because I think the whole point is that it's a reflection on...
Farron's story.
And Himmel.
Yeah. So... Because, so Fern and Stark right now have a sibling relationship, by the way. Like, that's pretty established. Like, that is how they interact with each other for the most part. It's a lot of Fern being, like, the big sister, bossing him around and calling him an idiot and whatever, right? But they are introducing the whole, like, well... You know, Fern does care about him, and like they do care about each other.
Yeah.
And then the whole like bracelet thing.
Yeah, I know.
Right. I thought that was kind of cheesy, but
yeah, it was really cheesy.
But we'll see. Maybe I'll grow to like it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because I like a lot of things in this show, so maybe I'll grow to like it. Who knows? But yeah, that was. And then you had.
Yes, I have two.
Two.
I have. Some excellent ships. Mm-hmm. So, Yusami-Ao and Lewis Smith from Bang Brave, Bang Bravern.
Great title.
Yes. It is like this show, without being explicitly gay, is so gay.
Mm-hmm. You showed me the outro.
Yes, the outro, yes. The outro is like the gayest thing ever. Uh-huh. But like they just did this thing where the thing is that the two characters, they're like military.
Right.
And
this is a mech anime.
Yes, this is a mech anime. They're both military. Mm-hmm. Different military. One's for the Japanese military, one's for the American military. And but they have a lot of admiration for each other.
Admiration.
Yes, like they see each other very highly.
They're just good friends.
And that's the thing, is that they have feelings for each other. They definitely do. Like they feel very strongly about each other. Mm-hmm. And the last episode, they did this thing that like is like it's basically the equivalent of like, well, they did this thing where, how do I word this? It's like the closest you could get to like gay sex without actually doing it.
Okay.
So they were like, man, I really have to
Is it fuck or die plot?
No.
Oh, man.
No. So they were like, man, I have these really strong emotions that I need to tell. Lewis was like, or Smith, because they call each other by their last names.
Name, yeah.
So Smith was like, okay, so Smith was talking to Bravern, the mech, and was
which
like,
is sentient, by the way.
Which is sentient, and was like, I really have some emotions that I need to get across to Ao. Mm-hmm. And Bravern was like, there are some things that me and Ao can only do in our relationship. And there are some things that a relationship that, as a human, that only you can do with him. Mm-hmm. Do with that as you may. And then you know what they did? He was like, I'm going to have to speak to him through my body.
Okay.
So we're going to fist fight shirtless. We're gonna box.
Of course.
And, you know, that's like the gayest thing ever. Mm-hmm. Like, whenever they're like, I can only communicate this through my fist.
It is.
Like, that is like so gay.
It is.
Not only is that, but like they did well. First off, emotions were said, like actually said.
Admiration.
But there's a point where what did he say? Oh my gosh. There's a point where Smith is on top of Owl, and it zooms in on their crotches, and he goes, "I feel it." And I'm like, that's pretty explicit.
That's pretty explicit.
like I don't know what they meant by that scene, but like
just to show two guys getting their feelings out.
Yeah. So it's a very good ship. It's basically when straight men write yaoi. Like this is it. And then the god tier, like galaxy brain ship, which is essentially canon. Bravern and Isumi Ao, his pilot.
Yes.
Bravern speaks about Isumi like they are lovers.
Yes.
Like ever since the first episode, he's like, he refers to each other as their soulmates. Like, and that's the word he uses. And then he'll be like, he's like, I'll let you inside of me to where you can feel my insides. And like, it's all purposeful.
Right.
It's all very sexual.
Yes.
Like how Bravern talks about Isumi. No, it's Isami. Isami is very sexual, but like, or it's sensual. It's very sensual, and it's just so funny because he's a mech.
Yes, he's
and like and it's so funny. It's like this show is so galaxy brain, like it's fantastic.
Nice. Love a wacky romance. Yes. Well, those were our ships, our dips.
Yeah, with like one or two dips.
Yes, those are the relationships that caught our eye, I guess is the better way to say it, through the past year. And I guess that's it for the episode. Yep.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy belated Valentine's Day. We just kept pushing this off. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of our podcast. I'm Talya.
And I'm Jared.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.